I don't know about that one, Alpha Gamma. Can you remind me how things went when you and I teamed up against the AI in this? Somehow I can't remember. Poor Mage Core. I think they did more damage than help. By casting Bark Skin, they got rid of some of my Super Troopers here, ability to prevent incoming fire damage. Not enough of them, thankfully. What a war. I would sure like to have more than just my giant monkeys. I have aspirations beyond just using the overgrown Lunaris, because they have distinct weaknesses that are currently being exploited in this fight. But currently I do not have the resources for a full-scale assault. And it's by their absolute skin of the teeth that they survived this. They should have routed. They really should have routed here. But they do have magnificent morale. Yeah, more than my opponents, that's for sure. Is the weakness bullet, or rather arrow to the face? Actually, arrows are not their weakness. They have very good protection, and they have a shield. So actually, I don't mind them walking into any amount of arrow fire. Okay, there's a critical mass where they will get shredded eventually, but as they stand right now, they're fine. But they are completely dead if I didn't, at the very last minute, decide to give them fire resistance. Even 5 fire resistance reduces this armor-piercing magical fiery breath down a lot. Phew. What an important battle that was to win. Losing Alexandria cracks the whole nation open, but maintaining Alexandria maintains the status quo for now. Alright, let's get back to it. It's Dominion 6, we can carry on... yeah, stumbled over that entirely poorly. Not a problem though, you see this can be cut up, and the YouTube upload will know nothing of my stumbling. So we'll get back to it then. It's Dominion 6, it's Zishai. We're playing with Olopi, that'll be our god, the god of might, the copper caster of the gods, king of kings, king of forgiving. He hasn't arrived yet though, because our ghost king guy was in prison, so he won't be out until, on average, turn 36. We're currently on turn 27. Where do we stand right now? Well, we could have a look at the score graphs to have a good look at that. When it comes to provinces, we had an explosive start. Looks head and shoulder above everybody else, because it was. We started in a very good position. We had a takeable throne on our border, 5 bordering provinces to our capital, and we were unmolested on our fronts here. We were quite fortunate that Falconlad did not expand in our direction until quite recently. And similarly, Mullane, they could have gone Goblin Path, Ulm, Alexandria, and then immediately started crushing in on our location. But they didn't. They must have failed an expansion or suicide into thrones or something, because it took them a while to get down to Ulm and Helia. So that allowed us to stretch out and expand our front. We've got Alexandria, the Los Illuminados Church, Balaton, Dundee Docks, our capital of Zishai, Ridley Bank. Even Giza looks a little trepidatious, Giza, sitting out in the swamps here. But it's holding on to Arbarang. I really want to administer Arbarang so I can get its fat income. And we even made a push for the underground. That push is being pushed back, however. Mullane is also underground. But I'm hoping that they butt heads with Moon rather than with me. I know they went down south, I don't know how far. But I would like to be able to get a fort or 2 of my own here. I tried and failed to take the Deep Mount Throne. Ended up costing me a profit and quite a few turns of good things, but hey-ho. The beautiful power of editing. You could save face in front of you, just YouTube scrubs. Yeah, well, I wish I could save face on those Slay the Spire runs. That was grim. Right, what do we do now? We were at a pivotal moment. Alexandria was about to fall. It was laid siege to for a couple of turns. It was breached, and I sent everything I could, which wasn't much, to go and relieve it. I sent all my monkeys, all my troops, and even all of the mages that were in Alexandria out to its desperate defense. That cost me a lot of research. My research speed is now pathetically low. I'm going to have to rethink my advancement towards Blood 7. Now, I want Blood 7 like you wouldn't believe. Reascendance is going to win me the game. But the minor problem with that is that I can't really cast Reascendance until I have Blood level 4. I have Blood level 3. 3 is not 4. And if I want to boost Blood level 3 to 4, well, I might get lucky and find someone who can craft Armor of Twisting Thorns, but that needs a Blood 3 Nature 2 mage, which I can't see myself getting. Well, is that true? Is that entirely true? DDR Jake could forge the Thistle Mace, right? And then I could give the Thistle Mace to Vorjat, and then Vorjat could make that, and then Vorjat would have the levels for it. Huh. Yeah, okay, I take back what I said then. It's a cursed thing, you can't take it off once you're wearing it, but it could allow Vorjat to cast Reascendance. Okay, I was about to switch gears and then go for Construction 7 so I could get the other boosters, but no, that allows me to do that. Alright, there's a lot of research to do to get Reascendance, but once I have that, things will start going my way. I will, at that point, really want Soul Vortex, and I keep forgetting what it is. Soul Vortex is Alteration 6. I'm also going to want Phoenix Pyre, which is Alteration 7, but if I have those two spells, my angels are going to be unstoppable. Well, mostly unstoppable. Empowering Nature 2 is cheap. You are right about that, but if I make a Thistle Mace, it's something we can pass around. And the Thistle Mace is also quite cheap, it only costs 10. Maybe in preparation for that. It's nice that I have a use, by the way. I popped out and I had, pretty mediocre paths. But if I can actually be useful to the team, then all the better. I'll make that Thistle Mace. And I'll let Vorjat hold on to it, because wearing the Chainmail Displacement, they are much less likely to die to being attacked by... a current problem we have, actually, is being attacked by assassins. Not bad, these assassins. Decent skills, dual-wielding bronze swords. Their protection is passable, I suppose. Yeah, a problem for my lesser mages. And you even scored a critical hit on Dolce, and Dolce is about to die. I feel bad about that, because Dolce was another half-decent mage here. The blood hunting days and the extraction point already over. I might have to crank up my blood hunting game, though. It's just not currently good enough. I don't want to use these guys, because they're way too expensive for Nature 2 Blood 1. But currently I have to wait 2 turns to crank out one of my Keepers of the Sylphborn whatevers. And I'm happy if they're Blood 2, because they can go out and Blood Hunt, but it's a long time to wait. On the other hand, money is tight, and I really need to build a proper army that can fight. We're struggling on that front. Maybe we just choke down the problems that we have right now. Yeah, continue choking. So I was questioning to myself at the end of last stream whether or not I should go on the attack into Mylane, and some people were saying, well, just do it, right? Clearly, you'll curb stomp them. I'm not so sure that's clear. In fact, I am beginning to think it would be a very bad idea to go on the march against Mylane. Yeah, if I assemble my army, and the army is getting reinforcements from my prophet right here, I could probably march in and really start sweeping the floor with them. But it is going to make me face attrition, and it is going to tie up my units in a pretty lengthy war with Mylane, where they're not the biggest threat. My bigger threat is Falconlad. I have no real way to deal with Falconlad's mounted units. They are beastly. We can actually have a look at them right about here. This thing is terrifying. The Divine Veilborn has magical decaying weapons, so they will age my monkeys to death. He's got incredible skills, very hard to hit. He has Blur as well, so he's even harder for me to hit. And unicorns are pretty good mounts. So my way of dealing with this guy, I just don't know. Well, I know what can kill him. My angels could kill him, but I need to get my angels. I think it's far better to hold a flexible defense. And if you're not sold on that as a viewer, consider that the longer I give them unmolested, the more they will power up and offer me big fights that I want. I think it's more important to shore up my defenses. So these monkeys are going to aid the province defense of Alexandria. I've already ratcheted up the defense of Balaton, Albania, and Bornholm. So if he tries to do his little swimming across ordeal again, I should be able to beat him back with province defense. Sherwood notably doesn't have that, but Sherwood is not under threat. The threat will grow if and when Millane decides that they can take the waters, which they can. I would rather have the waters, but I have many things that I would like, and I can't have them all. Income's not bad, but I spend so much of it every turn cranking out mages and an army. It's getting to be a bit of a problem, frankly. I'm going to need these high priests back after I killed them off on the desperate defense. I will, however, take Constantinople, that is for sure. There is no way Oceania should be allowed to be on the land right now. Yeah, my defenses could stand to improve as well. I just hope that he wastes his time fighting Atlantis, who thankfully is not at war with me. It was a sad thing to discover that my walled cities are actually quite terrible as forts go. It'd be very nice to instead have wizard towers, but I don't have Earth Mage going for me right now. Are the AI civilizations different compared to this run from the previous one? They are considerably stronger. We played on difficult mode last time. This time we're playing on mighty. Off the top of my head, they get 60% more everything. Resources, recruitment points, money, gems, the lot. And that is why they are amassing such a giant army so easily. And when you could squeeze out 60% more everything from your provinces, that allows you to grow faster, become bigger. It's quite terrifying. Yeah, it's feeling a bit mighty. Yeah, they certainly are. Right, there are a lot of things I want, but if I can just knuckle down a bit, get some research going, and get my army actually built up, I'll feel a lot happier. I need to think about how I get into those bleeding waters, though. We do have water mages and a few water gems, so things can be done there. Yeah, we've been searching. I need to refresh my head on what is and is not searched around here, and who is indeed even doing the searching. Zhuge Liang's blood hunting here. The Pilot Wings Resort needs a laboratory so Spy Fox can ditch all of his slaves somewhere. Basically, up here is unsearched. I need to send somebody to go and do that. Didn't I have a mage that was going around searching all over the place? Oh, that's right, I sent them underground. Yes, it's TBW. TBW is a good site searcher. Well, good-ish. We could do better. Hopefully we will get better. I don't want to do it because I don't have water path. I want someone that has all four of my local paths, which is astral, nature, blood, and water. And if they have 2 in nature or water, that's pretty good. 2 in blood, it doesn't really matter much for site searching because blood sites are quite rare. So yes, TBW is taking the big risk of exploring the underground. I don't really have money to invest in more defenses, and I think we just carry on. You had a potential remote site searcher with S3. Yes, I do. We've got Beef Squisher, who I want to keep alive. It's tempting to forge something for him to stay alive, because he is quite important. You know, the Astral 3 searching is really, really good. The problem is, to get that, we need... I think it's enchantment. I always forget what it is. Alteration? Conjuration? Yeah, it's Conjuration 6, Asterisk Knowledge. I want that, but I want a lot of things. Still need to keep him alive, though. How can I do that? I seem to have a lot of astral pearls. Maybe Beef Squisher could just make himself... even an enchanted ringmail armor would be pretty good. Whatever gets me the biggest bang for buck in terms of not dying to these assassins would be pretty good. Green scale armor costs a little bit too much. This thing's only 5. Yeah, I think we'll just do that. Just make yourself an enchanted ringmail armor so that you don't die randomly. You could still get shot in the head. You know, Crown only offers you 5 protection to your head, but since you're larger than the assassins, you'll mostly just be hit in the body. So let's hope you can make do with that. Alright, let's go. Whew, who's our god? Our god is a ghost king that's not awakened from his being chained down in Hades for a while. Right, we've actually found something with Shantae the Siren, who we just picked up out of nowhere, a Veiled Valley. Dolce found no blood slaves, and Dolce's going to die. Zhuge Liang and Spy Fox did get some. There was a battle in Wales, so we have had our spies looking around the place. Atlantis is coming onto land to harass my enemies, which is excellent. So Atlantis is a bit scary. They're a really good land nation who just happen to be completely amphibious. So they fight just as well on land as on on water. They themselves has poisonous barbs, so fortunately we have length 2 weapons. We shouldn't get hit by that by our sacred monkeys, but our non-sacreds could suffer. And of course they hit with armor negating poison. Pretty hard as well. Those coral glaives are no joke. Shamblers are a bit whatever. I don't tend to worry too much about them, but coral glaives could be a problem. And here are their sacreds. Once again with the coral glaives, enough protection to slash through my armor, long enough to repel me. And they have a shield. And they're very heavily coated in non-metallic armors. Like me, they fatigue out quite easily. They've got worse skills than me. I'm curious about their bless. They do not, however, have a priest to bless. How are you going to handle an air elemental, though? Not particularly well, unfortunately for the defender here. They didn't bring a lot to the party. They decided to mist form their heavy infantry. A good cry, actually. I'm not actually sure if poison pops mist form. And it doesn't. It has to strictly be a magical weapon, not a magical effect of a weapon. Doesn't matter, though. The defenders here are dead to rights. Blip. See, Atlantis, they use good units. It was just independence, though, and they're taking this over. But I'm happy. I'm happy to see Atlantis on land, as long as it's not my land. The more the AIs fight each other, the less they're fighting me. Although I am strongly tempted to mod the game later on so that the AIs do not fight each other. Scary thought, but oh god, they're still going for Alexandria. I did set everyone to patrol there, right? Oh, they want round 2, but yes, I did set my units to be here. Hopefully they don't route based on hit point routing. 20 morale is quite a lot. 21 morale, I'll have you know. But at least now the front line can hold against theirs whilst my doom monkeys get in. You know, they're bringing giant manti. The AI loves to make killer manti. I just don't really see their use. You know, defense skill with length 0 weapons, as in not enough defense skill, so they get repelled like nobody's business. Their protection's not great. Nothing about them's all that great. I guess they get 2 attacks, which are not too shabby with decent attack, but yeah, I'm not seeing the utility. Are my monkeys actually going to attack? Yeah, I guess they are. Professor Herschel Layton is blessing this unit. Alright, so again, here are the fire units, which we don't worry about because we have fire resistance. So it's really, really good for me to kill their sacreds. Their sacreds are quite beefy. Of course, I have to kill them first. One slight problem is when you have units on bodyguard duty, they do strictly bodyguard. They don't tend to fill out the ranks quite like these guys do. But my ranks are filling out really nicely. In fact, the fact that they sent their best and brightest around to try and kill the commanders works great for me, because we're handling their heavy hitters, whereas their lighter hitters are getting mulched by my just generally large, terrifying Avvites. And my melee units have now engaged their bowmen. And I gotta say, my melee units have the advantage here. Goodbye, bowmen. Brilliant. I love just coming in on a flank and cleaving through them. All the while, our mad monkeys are holding a firm defense, which is good because I need my my commander monkeys to live. Is that a rout? Yeah, some of my lesser units are routing. On 17 morale, they're routing? Oh, that's not a good sign. Okay, well, don't cause a whole rout on me. Definitely the enemies are going to be routing now, though. Very interested in killing some of their commanders, though. They have way too many commanders. And this is why I wanted to be on the defense, by the way. I wanted my provincial defense to come in to aid me and ruin their resources, right? They throw 500 units at me and they lose like 250 or 300 of them. That's them losing a lot of resources. And what do I lose? Nothing, because province defense comes back as long as you win the battle. In fact, I gain because these units are getting experience from killing. As long as I don't take bad attrition, it's a great exchange for me. And imagine, conversely, if I'd gone on the offensive, I might have lost both Alexandria and my expander party. But yes, melee are extremely routed, and these poor guys are going to be poisoned to death. Well, the one closest to the camera will. Yeah, he's taken 2 poisons, so he has more than 10 poison damage. That'll be enough to kill him. And yeah, the province defense held. I mean, why wouldn't it? Giant maul-wielding Avvites. Splat. kill the glaive-wielding fish as well. Ah. Province defense do not gain experience. Well, is that strictly true? I think during a fight they can get enough experience to level up, but on every new fight they're just fresh units. They don't maintain memories or items or anything like that. You could also push the border up and defend. Yeah, but that's gonna cost me. Taking provinces is killing income equals future units. I don't disagree with your assessment here. I just think it is better to play the defensive right now. And also my overgrown Lunaries have recuperation, so even if they get crippled in these fights, they will eventually get better. But yeah, look at that. Almost a complete massacre of them, and they lost their leadership. Acolytes dead. Benefactors dead. Master Champion dead. Mounted Commanders dead. Priest dead. Trident Commanders dead. Of course his mage got away. Ooh, he does blood. And he can also collect nature gems and turn them into death gems. Death gems tend to be more valuable. Until you get Well of Misery, and then you're laughing in death gems. And Wraith Lords. Alright, the Lilat system. We're being attacked by Falcon Lad. I was wondering what he was doing with all those Manti on my border. The answer is attacking me. Off the back of his moose. His moose with male barding, so it's not easy to kill. Also, he decided to give gems to this guy, which is pretty cool. So what could he do? He's only an Air Mage 1. He could use an air thing to boost. I hope what he does is he fatigues out and then I just kill him. What is he doing? He mistforms himself. He had to use a gem to power himself up to do that, but mistform for self is not a big deal. Manti are not particularly good at dealing with missile attacks. Their protection's okay, but they have no shield. So hopefully we just, like, javelin them half to death, and then they engage with my province defense, and then get mashed. I have units in the Lilac system because I am quite afraid of it falling, frankly. Oh, he brought bugs! Oh, large beetles with their tiny stings that can only do max 1 damage. Unsurprisingly, you're routed. Please tell me you fatigued out. Ooh, he's fatigued, but he's not fatigued out. He will regain consciousness and order a retreat on his moose. Alright, so he just threw away some Manti. I don't have a problem with that. A battle in Constantinople is me on the offensive. I want Oceania off the land. The fish belong in the sea. And this is where he recruited the barbarians to attack me with Prior. He also has this one, the Stay Peasant Ichtar Commander, who gets his hooves on land. Somehow he's a poor amphibian. Well, that's not true. He gains gills when he's underwater. Go, my monkeys. Kill the barbs. En masse, barbarians are a little scary for my monkeys, but only a little. And that wasn't en masse. So down they go. Nary a problem. The Frostpunk Generator. Oh god, Zhuge Liang was ambushed in a house while performing his duties of examining a young girl there. I checked. Alright, Zhuge Liang, do not do a masterful retreat here. So he's in here having a look at these commoners. A female commoner, probably tired and wants to finish her meal. Well, fortunately, you can have a meal of my summoned ill earth. Blech. The ill earth trampled the commoners for 11 and 28 damage, killing both of them. This ill earth is about 9 foot tall and made of blood-soaked stone. Beautiful. And then as for the other commoners, blep. And that's what I like about Zhuge Liang and his other Sylph-born congregations. In every combat they summon ill earths, and that's why I want them as blood hunters. Because when you're going around harvesting your land for all of its virgins, people tend to have a thing or two to say about that. That's actually how Dolce died. A commoner swung his scythe at Dolce. Scythes are pretty powerful. They're pretty unskilled, so they miss most of the time, but they hit Dolce. And then Dolce died from the disease that gave her. Ah, wonderful. Free gems are always nice. Patrolling troops in Alexandria killing filthy brigands. And Dolce, the keeper of the Sylphborn, died from a disease. Well, they didn't find any blood slaves on their final attempt. And we got a couple of famous heroes, the Defect and Anne from the Inn. They both are now heroes. Defect has enormous strength. He must have learned Reprogram. And Anne from the Inn has extra hit points. Both good things. Let's see, you both bless and attack closest, which I'm fine with. Yeah, you do a good job. You should be able to hold anyone from routing. And I'm pretty happy to continually create a lot of archers so that I have a real army up here. I want them for sieging if nothing else. And I want to round out my province defense so that I'm not afraid of being attacked around here. Sherwood, let's just preempt any problems over there. Zishai itself could do with a bit more. I'll bump it all the way up to 31 because it is on the coast. And they could come in from Wesnoth and give me a bad time. But now I have something resembling an army here. I reckon we go to Alexandria to pick up the archers. Although we are slower with archers in our midst. Yeah, the archers have max move 12, which is a bit sad. Yeah, it slows me down remarkably. But to be honest, what is my army getting used for these days? I suppose I still want deep mount. So what I could do right now is... How far down can you get, by the way? You could go straight down to Umbra and then go into deep mount. It didn't work out for us last time, but I think it'll work out this time. These troops have experience. And although it's dark and hard to see down there, I think with this kind of army they could take deep mount. And then I can claim deep mount and possibly put a throne on it. So yeah, get down to Umbra, get down to deep mount and take it. And I wouldn't even mind launching a counterattack because Melen does not have troops that can see underground either. So if we both fight in the darkness, we're both similarly blind. Right, Shantae, you found us the Veiled Valley for glamour. Okay, great. It's not great, by the way. I have no real use for glamour gems. Even so, could you just go and search other... In fact, I'm just auto-site search you. You're pretty useless for most things. If I want air access, I've got my god, and I don't really want glamour access. Don't have gems, really, to make use of it. Alright, Beef Squisher, congratulations on making yourself your own armor. I could make you wear the horned helmet if I really want you to stay alive. But I think Vorjat is the higher priority to keep alive. Also, Vorjat, here you go. And Vorjat, let's just make the armor of Twisting Thorns now, shall we? Yeah, we don't have to wear it, but I do want it made. It's quite expensive, though. But yeah, just get it made. Hello, Jake. I'm just watching the VOD from the first part and enjoying it. Are you, by chance, Irish or Scottish? Well, by chance, I am Scottish. Born and raised in the north of Scotland. Oh, here I am in the game as well. Right, get back to researching. There's not much for me to do right now. Let's see. Researching the Dundee Docks. I really, really want a laboratory in Pilot Wings Resort. But I lack the money. A story of my life, I suppose. Is there any way I can save enough money for it? Not that I can think of. What I'll do is I'll give these blood slaves over to you. Spy Fox will continue to blood hunt. Actually, Spy Fox is a good site searcher. I could send him up and do site searching around here. I suppose I'm not in a huge hurry for this blood, but I'm always in a hurry for more sites. In that case, Sumki can return these blood slaves. Sumki will build a laboratory here when possible. Spy Fox deposits the virgins and checks the north area for low-level sites. Lilac System did a good job of holding, so I'll maintain Craywin and Big Follows there. Yeah, they're doing a good job of that. I mean, I do like the bodyguards, but I like it when the monkeys actually go and bleeding attack every now and then, but it seems like Alexandria's doing a pretty good job holding in general. And these guys do attack closest anyways. Anyway, Beast Squisher, get back to your researching. I can't have you do other things just yet. Got a lot of mages in Ridley Bank. Actually, my Dominion is doing pretty alright overall. Even so, Alexandria is a bit of a necessity. I'm very tempted to push out. I cannot tell a lie. Seeing how poorly they have held, I actually wanted to go on in the attack with these guys, just to take Lake Helia. They don't have the army in Ulm to attack me. They don't have enough of an army in Lake Helia to threaten Alexandria, so I think I just take Lake Helia. Yeah, it's a good province. I want it. And in that case, Marvin, Kitty, Ada Wong, Maria Theresa von Habsburg, all of you go to Alexandria. Is that true? I guess it's fine. I do quite like my high priests, but money is a problem right now. Right, F in snow has not been searched. Oh, wait, hold on. Trukosko can do the searching. Spy Fox, I'm sorry, you're continuing to blood hunt. I take back what I just decided. Didn't realize I had Trukosko here for site searching. I don't think I sent them there to blood hunt, not with paths like that. And in some case, yeah, you're sorry to say you're just defending. I need you to build a lab here next turn. Yeah. Yeah, not much for you to do. Just have you defend and do nothing. It would seem that Falkenland didn't like what happened to the Mantai. They've assembled the champions, their axemen, their wolves. What's their elite of elite unit? The Veilborn. How many Veilborn are there? A lot. More than their Spearmasters. Lilat system's under grave threat then. I don't think Big Falls and Craywind can reasonably hold all that off. The monkeys are going to die. Alternatively, attack into Los Illuminados, which is also under grave threat. Does that mean that I'm unwilling to take the underground and would rather rush to Los Illuminados' defense? It's pretty bad. This is why I'm not going on the offense, by the way. This is terrifying. And I think the Azmegs are strong enough to tear down the walls of the Los Illuminados church very quickly. Now, the rat can be waiting there, but the rat's not going to be enough. I'm worried. I'm very worried. Yeah, Falkenland's units are terrifying, but in particular those Divine Veilborns. They just need to land a hit on us and we end up dying to aging to death. I don't exactly have a large army to deal with that. Yeah, I think I need to bring my units over there on a desperate defense. It's always a desperate defense. Where are my not so desperate defenses? I do have additional units which I could conceivably move over with someone like Reste. Rather not use Reste for this, but I can use Reste for this. Your map move could be 16. It's a bit of a trek to bring your guys over. What could happen here is that we abandon the archers. I put them on guard duty, shove the rest of them in, and then we have yours truly take command of the Sacreds. Because I have sufficient map move. That's not right. That's not right. My map move should be good enough to get me to Frostpunk Generator, but because I don't personally have running through woodland speed, it doesn't work out extra well for me. Alright, I'm going to move over here regardless. Actually, no. I'm better at researching. Reste, you will continue to take those monkeys. All of them. Over to the Netherlands in 10 years. Both of you are going to wait there. And then I'll arrive and give the Sacreds to one, the Archers to the other. And they will go and aid the defense around here, because I'm very worried about this flank in general. I don't have much to throw here, but it might be enough to stave off some of the attacks. If they go for Los Illuminados. If they go for the Lilat system, then my entire area here is open to raiding, which is bad. But we know that. Ugh, these are not good units to hold out against this. Alright, we have problems, is what I'm getting at. Is it problematic enough for me to pull these guys back? Depends if we hold or not. There's some weak indie amphibians in one province. You mean for getting into the water? The watery defense is pretty poor from the Indies. Yeah, here we go. We actually have some Ichted warriors. And I do have the fortifications here to actually build these guys up if I want to go and take this. It's not a bad idea, but, you know, my treasury is constantly being hounded. Alright, life is bad. Still going on the offense, though. Alright, let's hope that just doing a military training exercise on my border and aren't actually about to invade me. And if they are invading me, hopefully it's in the Lilat system. Okay, kind of good, maybe. There's nothing here. Scythia's just saying whatever. We grabbed some decent amounts of blood slaves. Cripples are dying. Whoops, I should have left the cripples behind. I forgot about that. Should have checked. Alright, Lake Hylia then. Yeah, damn, I forgot. Recuperation. I need to, well, recuperate. We get our blessings going, and then we shred our foes. You know, 400 of you couldn't take us on. What chance to... What's that, 50 or so of you have? Not much of a chance. Here's a limp one who's probably going to go cripple. Beautiful. The Lilat system is the far greater concern. This is why I'm not going on the rampage. I fear all of this. I fear Asmegs. They are bigger than me. They hit through my protection. They're reasonably skilled, and these aren't even the experienced ones. But more than anything, I fear these Divine Veilborns. They're unfreaking touchable, and that's without their bless or experience. Wait, do they have flying guys? I swear I saw somebody with wings. Ah, that's something with wings. Not Steve Burnside, the budding prior, but you, the amphipter. Well, you should just fly in and get yourself killed. You don't have particularly good... Ooh, spray poison. Now that is a problem. I need to this thing dead quickly. Alright. Come and have a go then. Concerning. Alright, well, they're coming in. They did indeed spray poison. Oh my god, that was a lot of poison. You are susceptible to die to that poison. And you might not if you don't take further damage, or, you know, get sprayed with further poison, but this thing could just spray poison right now and give us a bad time. Especially when we're being heckled by all of these wolves. Please kill it. No, it sprayed more poison. Oh dear. Alright, well, I'll tell you right now, that's very bad. Our skills will drop down, we'll take damage. We're liable for a morale rout. Our center is completely shattered. Yeah, they're routing as well. So, can the mad monkeys hold out against this hot nonsense? All of their sacreds are still around, and they're still causing me a lot of troubles. It looks very bad for me. But maybe we can hold and cause them to rout. My big monkeys have managed to do that before. If they ever start thinking about routing, though, my monkeys are dead to rights. Fortunately, though, despite these guys being pretty big... Wait, they're not bigger than me. They're size 5 and we're size 6. That's actually relevant because if they were size 6, these axes would be length 2 and they wouldn't hit my poisonous barbs, but they're not. So what's happening here is that their units are facing poison, the green bars that you see here from attacking into my units. Very, very relevant. Could be the only reasonable way to kill the Divine Veilborns, actually. And it is killing this one. Unfortunately, this overgrown Lunaris is decaying. Yeah, I don't know how long decay lasts. It's going to age in 5 years every turn. But if it goes away within 20 turns, my overgrown Lunare can actually survive the aging process. How much does poison reduce stats? Well, we'll have a quick look. So how much poison does this guy have? He's got at least 10, but not 20. I wish it showed you the amount of poison people had. I think you have to go around and count up all the poison. Whatever it is, though, it's only doing 4%. Maybe it's relevant to the size and hit points of a unit. Conversely, this dude right here has got minus 12% due to poison. And I think I saw someone with a lot of poison. So, well, these guys are considerably smaller. But it's only minus 3% on the poison. How about you? 26%. Alright, keep on holding. A lot of their units are down. But if we start routing, we are down and out here. However, I have to say it's quite promising, the idea of poison being a counter to their ludicrous sacreds. You know, fight ludicrous sacreds with ludicrous sacreds. Force them to rout and we're okay. How morale heavy are they? Pretty heavy. We're heavier, but we've taken far more losses. Looks like they're routing, though. Get out of here. Get the hell out of here. Phew. My province defense needed my monkeys, and my monkeys needed the province defense. That was a symbiotic defense. Oh yeah, that's good to see. Yeah, you run. You try to run. Aren't you berserking? We're not berserking, we're blood surging, which is very different. Blood Surge activates and gives you 3 strength, 3 attack skill, 1 defense skill, and some reinvigoration. Just 1 though. Berserking gives you strength and attack skill, depending on the berserk value. Lowers your defense skill by that amount. And it makes you never rout. Actually, never. If you're berserking, even if all your commanders leave, and if everybody else on the battlefield is dead, you'll still be there. But berserking, I believe, can run out. I'm very interested in this. Can we survive being decayed? Actually, even if we do decay to death, we will become a werebear. And I think the bear could also live for a while. So I'm very interested in what this guy does. This purple guy right here. He appears to still be taking damage. Why is he taking damage from decay? I don't like that. Okay, come on, come on. Keep on living. Every one of these guys is important to me. Okay, and next decay tick is going to kill him, but these guys live on in a second form, and if they survive in the second form, they will... Oh, here we go. Maybe... Old age gets rid of recuperation, though, so whatever wounds he has, he doesn't appear to have any, he won't be able to heal. And we're still going along because this limp guy is going to be on the battlefield for some time. Come on, how long does decay last? He stopped taking damage from decay? No, he still is. But at least you can hunt down the limp one. The limp Todger. Yeah, there we go. Eat this one as well while you're at it. Meta Knight the Arc Prior. Oh, well, they're dead anyway. How are you dead? What happened to you? No, you're just old as balls anyway. Crippled, weakened, chest wound, never healing wound. And there's a bear chasing after you, just for your information. Blech. Amazing. It hit it in the leg with a bite for 1 point of damage, killing it. Reduced to 1 point of damage, but that's all we needed to kill it. Now, you're still decaying. Are you going to live? Because you're old now. Probably dead, right? Ooh. Oh, no. Yeah, so that's why I don't like these guys. Their units are skilled. Decay weapons counter my overgrown Lunaris. Seems to be if you get decayed, you die. I mean, I could spot check to see if any of them also got decayed and aged rapidly and yet survived. I mean, you're 91. That is suspiciously old. So maybe this guy got hit with it and was able to get rid of it quickly, but I don't know what causes decay to end. This guy's 121. He must have been hit with decay, but he managed to shake it off. Maybe it's a magic resistance check each turn? I truly don't know. Uh-oh. Oh, we lost a... Oh, wait, no, we only had 2 commanders here. These guys must be crippled or something, right? You're limp. You're limp. Scissorman the Axe High Chieftain. You must be the province defender. How the hell did you live? Oh, well, that's good. Anyway, the point is I survived, and that's very important. I needed a Lilat system not to fall. 3 of our delectable sacreds. Half of his army, but he can come back with more. Fortunately, killing off... one lost their mount. Well, good enough. Killing off 12 of their terrifying sacreds is pretty good. But I think a lot of those died to poison. Those that survive will get a lot of experience, and I'm grateful to see the Sword Lords themselves living. In Dominions 5, according to the wiki, an affected unit has a 1% chance to make a magic-resistant check versus 14 every round of combat to be 1% per round. That's horrifying. These monkeys are just rocks. How did you manage to throw them away versus cavemen last stream? Cavemen have partial dark vision. We do not. A stranger is washed ashore in the sea. He remembers nothing of his past, but seems to retain his formidable skills and has joined your cause. Ubiquitous 1984. This wash up on the shores of Zishai. What are you, anyway? An assassin. An ethereal assassin. Now, the annoying thing is you can't really use that in single player because the AI can just patrol you down. The AI is a monster like that. And you're just a basic humanoid, so you're not really worth anything. And I have to pay you. I didn't agree to paying you. What am I meant to do with this guy? I don't know. Thug him? Thug a human? Thug a 10 hit point size 3 human? You must be joking. Yeah, sure, it's nice that he's ethereal, but I suppose if I could thug him to the point where he can kill province defense, he could just go, wait. Feels like they've got even more units than last time. They seem very intent on invading the Lilat system, so I should probably invest more in the Lilat system. Probably includes adding more units here. One of these days, I'm gonna get the laboratory here. Don't think it's happening though. I should probably just use a benign unit like the rat to go and ferry gems around. It's sad, but I think it has to be done. Also, yeah, Sumke comes back, Spy Fox continues to blood hunt. We took Lake Helia, of course we did. I feel really quite sad and bad about letting a couple of cripples die, though. Now, do we just leave Lake Helia here and go back to protecting Alexandria? Or do I hold Lake Helia? It's good income, and I'd rather hold it than let the enemy have it. But the question is, can Alexandria hold without my assistance? Alexandria's got some pretty biblical province defense, but having this die on me would be really sad. Helia blocks the raiding. Oh, they can still come in through Ulm. Helia blocks the raiding across the water, but the province defense blocks their somewhat shoddy Ichitids anyway. Starting to feel bad about racing over with so many units here. But if Falkenland want a war, I think I'm going to have to give them a war. Yeah, get your arse down to the Pilot Wing Resort. You'll be able to move in better from there, my beloved prophet. And Reste... Wait, I wasn't meant to move in here. Ah, crumbs. Oh, we'll get back to Zishai. One of you's taking all of the bowmen, which is not a lot of them. The other one's taking all of you. Reste, get back to Zishai. You guys head on over as fast as you can, please. How can I have so much income and yet still be crushed on money every turn? F and Snow gave us nothing, right? Yeah, nothing in F and Snow. Balaton has not been sufficiently searched, so go and check Balaton next up. Maria and Marvin, I know... Oh, yeah, all of you, actually. I know there's already enough Dominion here, but let's just pray to make sure that there's definitely enough Dominion here. I suppose I'm dunking quite a lot of money in getting my Bandar champions as well, but I do want to have something that resembles an army here. So you're my reascender, huh? Yeah, but boy, do I need to do a lot of blood research to get my beloved. But I'll get my beloved. I'll get there. I'm still looking for more blood 2 mages to go out and site search for me. You have good astral pearls. Can you do astric knowledge? My research is too low. I would need what is it? Evocation 5 or 6 for it. Conjuration? Yes, always conjuration. Conjuration 6 for it. My research has been so bad. I knew it would be bad. I even raised my magic for it, but my mages are big and relatively expensive, and I just don't have the money to be cranking them out en masse. Also, I killed off all of them in Alexandria on that desperate defense. But yeah, I would like to research better. And we're slowly trying to. Do not think for a moment that we're not trying to. Could you go and preach in Sherwood? I still want more temples for what it's worth, but temples cost money. Go and preach in Sherwood for me, please. I am torn here. I want to defend Alexandria. I want Lake Hylia. I think it's better to defend Alexandria, and we can just periodically take Lake Hylia by marching in there, right? And that tears down his temple and everything, so yeah, just move and patrol in Alexandria. And feel a little bit bad about... Oh yeah, I'm dunking a lot of money on my overgrown monkeys, of course. Ridley Bank. I'm going to need another sword lord to go and fish more units over to Alexandria. It's an important choke point. And I don't want to choke there. I still want the underground, of course, but assembling the resources for this is proving difficult. TBW, despite the grave risk to yourself, you need to site search Stalagmia. How grave is the risk? Ah, Bakemono Show are perfectly good. Still want that Deep Mount Throne, though. Yeah, Astral 6 is some heavy research to do. Hey, Ubiquitous could go and assassinate that throne and make me just walk in and take it if I really wanted it. He probably wants some better protection, but Ethereal's pretty good. Ah, hell, if he dies, right? I'm kind of happy for him to die. I'm torn, right? If I thug this guy, he could mulch some... Nah, I don't think it's worth it, assassinating. The AI spams commanders anyway. Assassinating, more of a multiplayer thing, or an AI versus you thing, just not a you versus AI thing. In one of the multiplayers, I had a Bakemono-based random nation. More than half my units were called Bakemono Show. That must have been confusing. I already bolstered the defenses in the Lilat system. I'm still very concerned about the lack of defenses in the Los Illuminados Church. To the point where I will bolster it, but I do think it will fall if they do an attack on it. Well, I'll make them bleed for it then. Giza, funnily enough, is just holding out, chilling out here. Probably because it's got defense from Ryukyu, so they have to go via Arbarang. But yeah, Big Fellows and Kraywin doing a good job holding this. What do we have? Never Healing Wound, Never Healing Wound. I don't know why it's called Never Healing Wound. It does heal. They should call it something else. Alright, have faith. Whew. It's a long round. I hope that's not versus me, because that's an indicator of something going quite badly. Yeah, call it the eventually healing wound. Siren found 2 thing. Okay, the Siren, maybe not too bad to just get ostensibly for free, although I still have to pay for it. TBW searched and found nothing. Genedge are calling the mysterious BR their new prophet. Very mysterious. Shuge Liang found a ton of blood slaves. Spy Fox found none. Uh-oh. Resti is probably dead. Resti is not a particularly good person for combat. And this thing is, so goodbye Resti. You getting hit by cold bolts? Wait, what hit you? Whatever. Oh my god, what happened? Ah, sorry, I take it all back. Resti just splashed you with something. A cold bolt. So you just flung a mug of cold ale in the face of this assassin. And the assassin decided, nope, I'm out. And if you ever retreat from an assassination, you die. Very impressive. Okay, so not bad, not bad. And I didn't even give you anything. Not even bodyguards. Lake Hylia. Yeah, I'm not surprised that they wanted to take this, so I didn't invest in it. They just take it back. Blunk. A battle in Ryukyu. Okay, that's concerning. I don't want them to take this. Okay, they're not taking it with this. Look at what they have here. They got Monolith, Watchers, Manticores. These little Wolf Tribe warriors are not even worth mentioning. So I've mentioned before, there's a kind of unit that always makes me stop and think. And it's called the Watcher. Your minor shock resistance is not getting through 23 armor nullifying lightning damage. These things are insane. You just delete entire squares of units. But this is excellent because this is my enemy just throwing resources away. What the hell is that? Okay, well, never mind. It's gone. What was that? A spine frog. A large amphibian beast found in the swamps and the marshes. Highly poisonous. Poisonous skin. Ah, it's paralyzing poison, not deadly poison. It can gobble. I assume gobble kills anything that's smaller than you. Fortunately, we're size 6 as well, so you probably can't gobble us. Poisonous spit's a bit of a pain, though. Armor negating 10 poison damage. Anyway, it's dead, so it's not my problem. Yeah, bringing in their pet dinosaur frog is what they're doing over there. They once again wish to invade the Lilat system. Oh, and this time they are serious about it. They've got a proper mixed front line here that stretches from ear to ear. I did bolster my defense. Will it be enough? I am dubious, to say the least. That's a hell of a flank they just did. Whoa, my god, just rush in on the front and flank with a cab on the sides. Asmegs are pretty fast, so they can just trundle over and aid on that one. So, good luck. I don't want my giant monkeys isolated, but unfortunately that's going to happen. Yeah, this poor monkey is dead to rights, because attack skill big. He also missed the blessing. That's a shame. I made the province defense so big that the monkeys kind of got blocked by the province defense units. This could be very, very bad for me. It did seem like a lot of their units kind of evaporated on meeting the core of my army. Okay, of course. That's one of my commanders there. Is that my only monkey commander? No, there's one over here. Fortunately, he's raging. He's not aging. Oh, we got another blessing undone. So this guy did end up... Wait, he's still not blessed? That must have been them blessing then. Okay, fortunately, their Asmegs are on the way out. Unfortunately, I don't like it whenever their Sacreds survive. But we have once again held against them. This is why I abandoned my third foray into the underground in favor of defending this, because this I perceive as a considerably higher threat compared to going on an attack against Mail to the north. Shrivens. Yeah, see, my giant monkeys die horribly to this. They need the punch of the province defense. Don't think for 1 minute that we are wielding some invincible giant monkeys here. They're good. No doubt about it, they're good. But they have weaknesses. Weaknesses that this specific unit can exploit massively. Not least of all a one-shot kill with the withering weapons. Okay. Whew. Oh, glad to have lived, but I need reinforcements here. Monkeys survive without issue, and that gives them the round to recuperate any injuries, at least. Only half of the enemy died, though. The half run away. Fortunately, it's these Veilborns that need to die, and we're doing a good job killing them. They're so cheap. Holy crivens. Only 45 gold to recruit. Upkeep costs 7. What? That is not right. These units are busted strong. Ah, well. My monkeys die. They need a province defense that's currently fleeing in terror from the enemy. Yes, and what... Okay, maybe you need to rewatch what happened there, right? I'll let this play out for your benefit. So you can see what's going on, right? You can see where the giant monkeys are. They're here. Regrettably, they're also scattered because I need to either move them further back or further forward. Given the situation, probably further forward. Like, they can hold the center whilst these guys aid. Yeah, maybe move them forward. That seems like a good idea. Handle the charge. But yeah, let's just let you see what happens here. Monkeys are at the back. They prevent us from being completely encircled by their flank. And the core here has to hold against the oncoming attack. The little crummy humans, they just die, whatever. But these larger guys got to clog these guys up and kill them so the giant monkeys can hold. And look at how long these Asmegs are holding. Not Asmegs, these are Avvites, those are Asmegs. You think the giant monkeys handle that alone? Think again, they would get encircled and destroyed. Also, all these crummy little characters can eat the withering attack from the Divine Veilborns. Where's your demons, Jake? I'm working on it, okay? Our magic research is pathetic. Alright. Sneaking enemies discovered. The false prophet, we finally hunted him down. He was spreading some bad words down in Hidden Realm. And Craywin is a hero. He's a hero with enormous strength. So he'll do a better job killing everything with his exceptional short sword. Alright, the reinforcements have finally arrived. I'm a little tempted to go on the offense with them, all things considered. Let's just get everybody over to the Lilat system and then reconsider. I thought Spy Fox didn't find anybody this time. Alright, Rat, you just wait there and grab Blood Slaves. 50 forward, and Nunce, you move in, and then we end up with lots of units here, which is good. We like lots of units. So, what was the judgment call? Front or back? The frontlies are more liable to get crushed early. And withering weaponed early. But on the back, they're more susceptible to a rout if they watch all the province defense die and fail the morale check. Avvites go well with the monkeys. Yes, great. And I do want to pad out my front line with Avvites. But as you can see, I am under attack from basically 2.5 nations who each have 60% more income than me. So I gotta contemplate how to handle that. Front or back? Front or back? We've been doing alright on the back so far. Maybe we maintain the back. Yeah, I guess that's okay. And these guys can mulch up into a larger army, but oh, Nusp is set to defend here. I thought I was telling him to go into the Lilat system as well. He could almost go into the Vasa, or you could aid the Los Illuminados Church. Falkenland is right there. I am sorely tempted to do an all-out attack on them. What are they bringing in here? Leogryphs. I don't actually know how those operate. Just realized I don't have my Dom 6 Mod Inspector open. There we go. Can you explain your blessing? Yeah, I certainly can. Here we go. It's all stuff that doesn't require my god to live. Shock resist, fire resist, couple of reinvigoration, blood surge, and awareness. The fire resistance was a last minute addition, and I'm very glad I did because these guys belch fire on me. So I'm glad my monkeys don't go up in flames. But it's largely just covering the weakness of these units. I don't want them to have their defense skill crippled by being surrounded and attacked. And the blood surging should aid them getting the kills. Yeah, I think Nusp should go move and patrol the Los Illuminados Church. And then I'm going to attack. And I will go through Sparse Reef and I will lay siege to Falkenland. And I will be very unhappy because of my lack of siege ability. But if I can break this guy on this attack, I'll be in a very good situation. Because I shouldn't have too much of a problem holding Alexandria against all of this. Although Alexandria would love some reinforcements. Do these monkeys count as reinforcements for that sake? I think I do. What I could do is give... I think you've all got the same leadership value, right? None of them are legendary leaders, right? I could give this to you. And then these guys could be in sparse line formation. And then they just have the fire order. Maybe hold and fire. What's the range on the longbow? 45. I don't actually know how to parse that. Obviously, I don't use ranged attacks often enough. Maybe something like that. Do I really want sparse? Sparse lowers their morale. Monkeys do like to run away. Although it's not a big deal if they run away. They just run away into a fort. I actually might prefer them being on double line formation to make them less liable to be destroyed on a flank attack. Maybe something like this. Maybe even something like this. Now we just have stuff to block my archers from being attacked by whatevers. Sure, let's try something like that. They're definitely going to mount another attack in Alexandria, so I want to be somewhat ready for it. Right. What in the world can I do? Did I finally get another Blood 2 mage here? Absolutely not. Zyngus is a waste of time. Just get researching them. What does it take to get a Blood 2? You naturally have Blood 1, and we have 2 dice rolls, 2 and a bit for more blood. And we're not getting blood. That's a shame. Good job surviving, Resty, by the way. Maybe you deserve to forge yourself something good for that. Like a Blue Dragon Scale Mail. Yeah, you've already got the cold resistance. It's just water gems aren't particularly useful for me. Maybe you could forge something before you die. I'm sure you're going to die eventually, but nothing here speaks to me. There is the idea that I could put on the Ring of Water Breathing and just have some of my leaders go down into the likes of Chibi and slaughter everything there. I'd also like to get back to making more of you. You are pretty good. But for now, I desperately need the research, right? Let's not lose sight of that. If I'm not making more research mages, then I need to change that right now. Research, 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 research. I don't even have a laboratory here, right? That's getting changed. Bloody Mary, go and build a place in Ridley Bank for me, please. Sumke, please deposit those blood slaves. There we go. Now I've got a good number of blood slaves. I mean, it's not good, but it's enough to at least get me 1 reascendance when I get there. Which is the whole thing I'm going for. Once I have 1 reascendance, getting more will be a lot easier. Trusco, you're meant to be sight searching. Makeo, you're meant to be preaching. But you know what? I have spare money. So I can construct a temple. TB Dubs will search and find nothing. So go over to the Hidden Realm. Ugh, still worried about this. I should really go down to Deep Mount. Imagine the pain I could cause by taking the underground. I'm not just imagining it, I'm wishing it. DDR Jake, you're a bit useless. Just go and research there. Ryugyu Reina, your job is to go and hide out in Zishai so you can move around my monkey warriors later on. Alright, as long as my army doesn't shatter in the next few turns, I should have something that actually represents a fighting force. Would still love to have some Zishai falchions filling in the blanks of those monkeys in the front line. It'd be really handy, but they're not free. 25 gold each. Oh well, gotta do what we gotta do. Yes, yes we do. What are all these guys doing anyway? Ah, well, just figure out your orders. Okay, let's hope things go well. Dundee Docks? Unexpected. Wait, how's Fallen Land even getting there? Oh, that's funny. So this is something that can be done, just a very harassment technique. Black Hawks attack. They're not very good at attacking, but they do this dive attack, which is a bonus for first attack. And the worst thing it can do is hit your commander, kill the commander, and then your units just rout. Which is why I'm very glad the commander is right in the middle here, so unless they hold an attack on just him, which they don't, the birds just die. Alright, good waste of your air gems. Search and find nothing, no blood slaves, and another attack into Ryukyu. I'm very happy to see Falcon Land just throwing their units away. Vines are not shock resistant. Asmegs are not shock resistant. Prepare to die. They were unprepared for the death, and I'm very happy that the Manticores are there to take care of any fleeing unit. Chomp. Oh, I love that. This is why I park spies inside my inside any throne that I can see, because it allows me to gleamer this information that my enemies are losing resources for nothing. Barbarian Chief is dead, but that's of no concern. The Monolith is a really good leader. For some reason, people just want to surround themselves by this thing. They once again attack into the Lilat system. They must be running a bit low on juice by now, right? Yeah. This is a good sign that they are ripe for attack. I've lost count of the amount of times they've attacked into me, and they're definitely running lower on units, and definitely lower on their beloved sacreds. And this time my units are not getting caught up in this mess. I think some of them are still moving, yeah, before they can get blessed, which is annoying. Did I have access to a Sacred 3 priest? I'd sure love one. Fire. Okay, most of our monkeys don't fear fire, fortunately. Alright, the situation is stabilizing in my favor now. Excellent. Oh, that's very excellent. Unfortunately, some of our blasters get blasted, but that's to be expected. And now Arborang. Arborang. Didn't really expect that. I should have expected it, really, but I wasn't in a position to be aiding Arborang with province defense. Leogryphs, I don't see you often. You're fast, you're relatively well skilled for an animal, relatively high morale for an animal. Could be problematic. Your core is pretty weak, though, but my province defense is quite small. We'll see what holds here. Okay, the Leogryphs come and just eat my militia, which is not unexpected, but they don't stand up very well to javelins. Yeah, their natural protection is kind of crappy, so Leogryphs are dead to rights. What happens? My heavy cavalry will not sustain against their national cavalry, but look at that, we still skewer some of them. Oh, I think they're female. I heard a female scream, so... That's not very relevant to Dominions, but it does check for seduction checks. And this is why I invest in province defense, I suppose. I would far rather that the Avvites came to encircle the core rather than just wandering off to chase off some Leogryphs. Oh, but if it means you take out the fat bastard probationer Aeromancer, then I'll be very happy. Come on, make me happy. Make me very happy. Crush Moose. Thump, thump, thump. It's got mist form. It's got too much fatigue. It can't run. Encircle it completely. Yeah, there we go. The rider is dead. The moose remains. Okay, the moose absolutely remains. It's going to run away faster than we can hit the thing, I think. Alright, good job. Very good. Yeah, seduction is a thing. For both male and females. I am unsure where inanimate things like a tree fall into that. They're probably considered male, because you're always considered male unless you have the tag female. And it's a check on generally morale, I think. I've never tried to seduce a monolith, but now that I've mentioned it, I'd like to try it now. Alright, great to see you just throw yourselves away here. Tunnels of the Lost has completely flipped Dominion, man. The Underground's given me a lot of problems. And we have discovered an Ichtid commander from Oceania. We just put it to sword immediately. Okay, things are definitely stabilizing in my favor, but I still hemorrhage money through all the recruitment that I do. Alright, time for the counterattack. I am done sitting around here smelling my own farts. I will have these guys just sit on the back to hold and fire. What's the hotkey for hold and fire? Hold and fire is, of course, J. Yes, how did I know that? J. How about the rest of you? I'd actually like it if you guys got together into one big square that's easier to bless. That should be... Yeah, J for Jolt. That's good. Tell you what I think I prefer even more. You guys are way at the back. And these guys a bit further forward. That way the bless is going to hit them potentially better. It's not enough blessing, but it's going to have to do. Said I didn't want you guys like that. Just holding fire from wherever, maybe even off on the side. Although you're likely to get flanked that way. Yeah, just figure it out. No, I still don't like that. I will have you on the sides, but I won't be happy about it. Alright, good enough. Kind of. Still contemplating a bit more in the way of bodyguarding for these folks. I think they should bunch up right on top of each other. Makes it more likely that the blessing hits more of the bodyguards as well. Alright, there we go. Could also have them cast spells so that they're more likely that we hit everybody with the blessing. In fact... yeah, these guys are actually going to cast spells. Yeah, I'm more satisfied with that. Even so, I want them to hold the Lilat system because they could still attack. No, they can't attack with that. Maybe we just go in with a large attack wave. My siege ability with this is not great, but it's not terrible. I go to the Vasa, I go to Sparse Reef, and I go straight for Falconland. I think I have torn apart enough of them, and I must stop them recruiting Sacreds. Those Sacreds terrify me still, even now. Gordon Freeman's in charge, and... yes, the Divine Veilborns can only be recruited on their capital. So if I take their capital, I stop these nightmares from ever appearing again. Of course, the additional bonuses apply. Taking capital, it's generally the best province. And it has an inherent amount of gems that you can get. I can't recruit their Sacreds, though. It's not something that we get. Spooky and Singus, you both are not particularly good blood mages. Why am I just never getting blood mages? Okay, starting to put together an army again. Feels good in a way. Is this enough of an army to send underground? It really doesn't feel like it right now, does it? There are some bowmen here for some reason. Yeah, I recruited 40. I could take them underground. They're not going to fire very well in the darkness, though. But, monkey do. Ryugu could still take command of these. I think this will be enough to take the underground, truthfully. Hold and attack the closest. You do the spells and attack closest, and you guys just sit at the back, hold and fire. Yeah, Ryugu Reina will try what others have failed. Although you would be able to move much faster without the archers. Screw archers. Get over there. Wait, what? You still can't move fast enough. Damn the slowness of these guys. Alright, you can keep the archers then. Better than nothing. Bloody Mary, it is time for a laboratory over here. Makeo, it's time to preach. I want Sherwood. Oh, look who's here. Wait, how? Oh, that's funny. So, Oceania decided to go through Ardania into Bumley Beach, into Chibi. Since they are... well, since they're Oceania, they're good with water units. That's a problem because I skimped on the defenses in Sherwood. No, I didn't. I actually paid for that. Awesome. Then I'm not fearful of them coming out to get me. But I do need some way to get into the water. I would like all this water, of course, but it's quite important to me to take this. There's a throne in it. It's protected from the vast forces of the, well, mostly Atlantis. Just good to have. And I like things that are good to have when I have them. I am going to need Giza to be improved. Trusco. We have places to search, so please get searching. Colosseum of Fools, Albania, Sherwood, and the Los Illuminatus Church itself, which I suppose we could quickly search for nature sites first. TB Dubs goes and searches the Hidden Realm. Ubiquitous is going to see if we can just slaughter one of the commanders in Deep Mount. If Ubiquitous dies, well, that's no big deal. I don't want him anyway. The enemies are at our doorstep. There's always enemies at my doorstep, but which doorstep in particular? I don't think these guys pose a threat. The Minotaurs are not big enough to be a problem for my province defense. Avorion is still very much full of unrest. Our research is so bleeding slow, it hurts. But we're trying to snowball as best we can. I don't have any particularly good things I could make for that either. There is the idea that my... oh god, where did she go? Where's my site searcher? There you are, Shante. Shante could make the dream spool thing for research. I think Shantae is actually better for me if she just researches. Like, go to Zishai, make yourself a dream spool thing, and research. Although I suppose you're already in Seto Inland Sea, so why don't you search that and then go to Zishai? She's a right piece of work, so she is. God, enemies at all angles. Alright, the Vasa. The Vasa will surely fall. I have no reason to think that it wouldn't. And then we go on the attack. Am I going to be hungry? Resource requirements are pretty high, and we don't do well in the cold. But there's not terribly much I can do about that. Is that true? Good old DDR Jake could always make some bags of wine, or... I could make some broth. But bags of wine are cheaper. Give me the bag of wine. Obviously, I can't give that to you right now, but someone could go charging in with it in the future. Yeah, believe. Yeah, I erected the province defense in Sherwood. Eat morskis. Don't worry about that. Search and find nothing. Okay, Jimix just got shot from an arrow out of nowhere. But he survived. I'm sure he's fine. Search and find nothing. Search and find nothing. Ah, our god is here. Our god can go underwater. Currently, though, our god is probably site searching, or maybe even researching. That's how grim our research is. Capturing blood slaves is good. Going on the offense in the Vasa, probably also good. Yeah, we really crushed their army, so we can just stroll on in. And away they go. Simply beautiful. The temple was found, the temple was raised. Battle in Ryukyu. Yeah, he once again wants to go and take this. Yeah, good luck with that. Maybe the AI should be a bit better at detecting the threat from Indies. Oh, but they did try to attack me in the Lilat system. I was worried about this. We cross each other's paths, but as I said, he didn't have anything to worry about. We see that, we kill that. We have our eyes on Wales. Lashar is attacking into Atlantis here. Gotta keep my eye on Lashar because they have access to the Cavern Whites. These guys are cold-blooded, right? Yeah, that means they are not feeling very good in the cold climate. Also, their armor is all rusty. They probably went underwater wearing iron stuff. Foolish, although they'll easily cleave through apart Indies. Oh, wait, these aren't quite Indies. It's province defense led by Atlantis's consort. Slowing weapons and frost mist weapons. I don't have cold resistance, so slow weapons, cold weapons could be a problem. The frost is magical and effective versus ethereal beings, not a concern for us. Slowed for the rest of the battle. Well, we're already incredibly slow, but let's hope it doesn't affect us too badly. Alright, and Arbarang. Once more, Falconland. Yeah, Falconland is really low on resources now. I think I added a bit more to Arbarang. Whatever the case, it's able to hold. Very good. Alright, wonderful. Now, here is our god. Very, very high stats on the rainbows. You need some armor, because you could really go and solo some provinces as long as our Dominion is in it. Of course, our Dominion is not in it. And I'm rather desperate for research. Can you cast anything that's worth our time other than that? You can get those sheds, which I wasn't very keen on. Storm demons, they're just units, not commanders. Reanimation, clockwork horse. I'm afraid none of this really speaks to me. I would love for you to go site searching as well is the problem. But currently, if I say reascendance is what I absolutely need, you boosting my research by 20% is a pretty big thing. So please do research. One of my lesser researchers, could you make something for our god? Some basic armor would go a long way here. Not that basic. Not that either. Reste? Cold resistance is really not what he needs. Maybe my god makes himself some armor? That can't be right. Ah, dragon scale mail. Pretty good protection. You don't need air breathing. You can already get underwater. Is it just enchanted armor then? It's really sad. But one of my problems with my god is that he has virtually no protection. He only gets the basic stuff from Earth. And he's got a crown on his head, lucky him. He doesn't even have invulnerable. He can, however, spawn ghosts. I love ghosts. But yeah, I don't want you wasting your time forging stuff when somebody else could. Spooky. Hit points 6. Hit points 4. 10 nature gems versus 5 astral. Just make that for our god. What sort of god is this that he can't get his followers to even clothe him? Oh, jeez. We've been struggling to crank out decent mages. I've been looking for blood 2s, and we've not gotten many of them. Sensei is researching in Shikoku, which is fine. It should be safe enough there. He's in danger of assassins, and that's exactly why I'm giving him some armor. Well, not really, right? He's got 69 health, and he's ethereal. And we're not facing magical assassins. So his Rod of Death, which negates armor, is probably all he needs. Yeah, with defense skill 18, I think he's fine. But let's just give him some magical protection regardless. Alright, that means DDR Jake can research. Bloody Mary can research. Ridley Bank can finally get us some mages. Ryugu Reina was there to pick up some additional archers. Probably. And then Ryugu Reina is going underground to try and take that fort that I wanted. Not fort, the throne. You, of course, cannot claim the throne, but just holding it and building a fort there is probably a good sign. Oh, here's Jimix. Jimix got that never-healing wound from being shot from an arrow out of nowhere. You're currently preaching on Giza. Is that fine? That's fine enough, but I want a laboratory there. I would also like to consider the supply situation. We seem okay, but that's because we're in forests. I think when we're not in a forest, we're going to want Urangu McBain rushing in with the endless bag of wine for us. Even if Urangu McBain dies... Whoa, you are slow, man. Real slow. Alright, everybody, let's move on in. Sparse Reef, Falconland, kill. Little sad on the province defense here. I'd hate to be caught with my pants down here, so I will forgo the fort in favor of some province defense. Not fort, the laboratory. Lilac system continues to hold. Savs just to wait. Ventus will, and all of your ilk except for Urangu McBain will research. Trus is struggling hard to find good thrones. Ubiquitous, please assassinate the enemy commander to give me an easier time there. And if you die, that's fine. It just saves me money. TBW will go and search Umbra for more places. We already have the Mushroom Forest, but we want more. If I just had better research done, there's so much I could do with my gems. I could do the astral site searching with all these astral pearls. I could do water summons to get underwater. We could even boost water. We currently have 2. We could go 3, 4. Maybe even just boost ourselves for 5, frankly. Or get Sea Troll Court. God, there's so much we could do and we can't do it. Because our research sucks and I'm invested in Blood Magic 7. Oh well. Shantae, you searched and found nothing as usual. Get back to Zishai, please. Ooh. Giza, could you get yourself up to 31 on the defense, please? Maybe I have enough monkeys here. That is a double line formation, and it's too much. That's amusing. It is getting more and more tempted to go on the offensive with these guys. But I really, really like the idea of just holding this. It should be very difficult for the enemies to come through Alexandria. And if they try to go through the waters, Bornholm, Balaton, Albania is all waiting for them. And they can't get to Albania. Amusing. But yeah, I'm ready for them. This is actually good because it means I just put up this what? Wait, what? How did Mullane go into the water? Well, of course they had their Idchitids, but how did they beat Oceania on the water? Alright, no need to worry. Just move. What happens to Dominion when spreading to the enemy territory? It's good for your dominion to be in enemy territory. It's bad for the enemy dominion to be in yours, usually. When your dominion spreads, or when anyone's dominion spreads, you spread the scales of your nation. So here's my capital. It's where my dominion is typically the strongest. And my scales are, well, it's all here. Neutral order, positive productivity, +2 heat. So in summer it gets blisteringly hot, and in winters it usually doesn't even snow. Growth +1, lucky, and, well, we should have +1 magic. Must have been an event drawing down magic. But yeah, you spread your scales. Your god and your prophet become more powerful within your domain, and conversely much less powerful in enemy domain. Your troops get more morale in your domain, and I think less in enemy domain. And there are various other effects, but it doesn't take the land for you. But, you know, it's two different layers of expansion. Expanding your dominion and expanding your domain. What happened? Blood magic going on. A dire portent. So, the fox tattoo is grabbing additional astral pearls. Is that right? Hard to really say. But I think, yeah, he's gathering, I think, 5 astral pearls a turn. Not a lot, so I'm not really concerned about that. Big Follow's got shot in the heart. Good thing he's so big he survived. We search and find nothing. Lashar have JJ Ho-Ho, their new prophet. A swordmaster, hardly a good call for that. Zhuge Liang finds more blood. You know what? You've been depositing all that blood. Very good. Keep blood hunting. Spy Fox did not find any in Pilot Wings Resort. Why are you failing me? Pilot Wings Resort has enough population. You're a level 2 blood hunter. Bleh to that. Give your blood things over to the rat for now. Continue your blood hunting. The rat, give it to Dundee Docks. Assassinations. Well, first off, we were doing the assassination. We found Porco de Saint Coquille. Oh, we don't have dark vision. Funny, I thought such a dark assassin would at least have partial night vision. But we're only fighting against a sleeper. The sleeper also does not have dark vision, but he does have Mirage Bola. So he can hit us with false fetters. Hopefully he doesn't, but he probably kills us. Wait a second, he's got a magical weapon. Our ethereal is useless. No! Alright, well, at least I'm not paying for this assassin anymore. Yeah, he gets false fettered and then he gets killed. Yep. Oh, well. I should have remembered that there was a sleeper here. Sleeper counters my assassin pretty directly. By being skilled and magical, but whatever. I didn't even want that assassin. Right. We, on the other hand, are getting assassinated once again. However, you have chosen the wrong person to assassinate. Zyngus, the keeper, has his pet massive rock that wants to go and speak to you. Hopefully you don't just bypass it. Oh, you're bypassing it. Actually, you did a very good job in immediately making my ill earth smaller. Which means bad news for me. You might be able to kill my ill earth, actually. The crystal fist could hurt you, but it might not. Okay, fortunately, our mage is doing the very clever thing of casting magical attacks at my assassin. Okay, kind of good, but you're in a bit of trouble now. Well, not anymore. You got a taste for fish blood and activated your blood surge, but there's nothing left to kill. I guess you could kill the bookshelves. They're susceptible to fire and pierce resistant, and mindless inanimates. But you can still go and kill them if you want. And he doesn't want to. Alright, good, good. I'm happy to see those assassins die. They're quite cheap. They're very cheap. Oh my days. And very stealthy. And they come with some leather armor. Yeah, that's a really good unit to spam. If you were in a multiplayer, everybody would hate you for spamming these. Only 1 recruitment point as well. Can you animate the bookshelves to attack? Ooh, I don't think so. But I've never tried. You can animate bushes, but I don't think they count as... what's the term? Not inanimate, but the other thing. Oh no, it is inanimate. Inanimate are dead things animated by strong magic. So yeah, I don't think a bush would be inanimate because it is living. Yeah, so animating this bookshelf Okay, so this raises a question. Could you ever animate this bookshelf? If you could you then charm the bookshelf, and then you end up with a bookshelf unit? And if you had a bookshelf unit, could you then gift of reason it to become a bookshelf commander and then thug it out? This calls for some deadly science. Tell me about the unit. Bookshelf. Here's the bookshelf. Give me advanced information. It has 2 item slots. You could give the bookshelf up to 3 arms and have the bookshelf wield weapons against you. It has combat speed 2, so it can move very slowly. It has map move 2. It can move on the map very slowly. For some reason, it has 6 encumbrance. God. There is a build here. It's pierce resistant, right? It doesn't need to eat. Warriors wouldn't be able to read its moves. Ah, okay. There's no way, right? No way. There's no way that it's worth it, but I suppose if you really wanted to, he could find a way to have Bookshelf Commander. Anyway, we win, which is good. Arborang, I'm quite convinced that Falkenland have nothing of reasonable value left to throw at me. Given time, they would be able to reassemble their armies. Like I said, they're on Mighty mode, so they can use their phenomenal amounts of income to build up a big army to fight me once more. It's one of the reasons that I like playing against AI, which have at least difficult mode. They need that boost to be able to come back from losses. But this is not their national units. They have paid for these Venti as a mercenary outfit to attack me. Right, so I was comparing it to bushes and scrubs and things. Here's a bush. It's mindless, but it's not inanimate because, of course, it's alive. A little less alive because it took a javelin. The javelin got lost in the bush and somehow hurt it. Stones, on the other hand, are inanimate. Is there any way to animate a stone? The thing is, mindless units can't be charmed. So how would you get the thing on your side? I don't know. Maybe it's not possible, but I'm sure someone out there that knows Dominions inside out could find a way to make a bookshelf unit. Indomitable arms cannot be used by inanimates. Oh, that's a shame. But I think copper arms can. Right, more fighting in Wales. Atlantis and Lassar continue their skirmish. Let's see just how strong those Atlantean units are. One of them got prayed out of existence there, very amusing. But yeah, between Pale Ones versus Atlanteans, I have to imagine the Atlanteans win. Atlanteans are smaller, but they have better equipment and much better skills. The spearmen are not poison retardant, but neither are the Atlanteans. Of course, the Atlanteans are the ones that are attacking with poison. And the Pale Ones still have rusty armor. His helmet's taken damage. Could even break if it takes a big hit. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure I've given arms to a statue before. A fountain and had it attack. Not very good skills, but can still attack. Yeah, always happy to see more of their sacreds die. Oh, you actually survived the lightning strike. It's pretty hardcore. It's armor negating. Oh, good job. You got in and killed one person before you yourself die. And the manticores just go and hoover up anybody who tries to run away. Blep. Okay, we ourselves are under attack, though. Sparse Reef. Wait, no, this is us attacking. Good. Good. Angry monkeys kill. Normally I don't like having archers fire into my own units, but because we have shields and good protection, I'm not very scared of that. Plus, they're being clever and they're actually attacking the enemy slingers. And I certainly don't fear slingers. Sling doing 10 blunt damage? Yeah, no. It's a miracle if any of those do any damage to my units. Pretty cold, though. Pretty damn cold. Alright, very good. Temple found, temple raised. We're about to march on their capital. Pilot Wings Resort has a spy fox. No! Oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, so once again... Oh, you brought your virgins with you. Interesting. So once again, the locals are not very happy with me abducting all their daughters, but once again, we bring in Ill Earth. And what does the Ill Earth do? Ill Earth squish. Hilariously, these are the blood slaves that I've been picking up. They're actual units. If you bring them into combat, they are there. You can see them in their chains. And they actually fight on your side. A blood slave is typically a virgin female with blood of great purity. Enslaved and drugged to be used as a sacrifice in blood magic. If left without commanders, they will run away or fall whimpering to the ground. Yeah, they're mindless, so I wonder if they just, like, take the 1,000 damage and die. Their skills are virtually non-existent, because, yeah, they've been drugged out of their mind and they're chained up, but they still attack. You missed the commoner, and you actually hit the commoner. Yeah, so my little blood slave actually punched this commoner. But the commoner's not about to live much longer. Blip. Beautiful. I knew this would happen. Yeah, we're starving in Sparse Reef because it's not in a forest. If only we had an endless bag of wine to help us. Well, don't you worry, girlie. There'll be plenty of supplies over in Farchenland. So move on it. Sparse Reef is going to get defense aplenty. Urangu McBain is going to hold up the rear. If Urangu McBain gets there, just cast some spells, please. Keep yourself alive. I'm almost certain you're going to start with personal bark skin. It's looking really good for killing Falconland. Yeah, if I tear down their capital, and I have no reason to think that I won't succeed in that, I will be able to claim this land for my own, and then I'll be able to pincer attack into whatever these people are called. Male something, right? Milane. And chat has enough endless wine to supply the biggest army. Alright, TBW, once again, please search and find nothing. Shantae, I wish for you to forge a dream spool. This thing will allow you to research some more. Cannot be used by non-sleepers. Wait, what's a sleeper? What is a sleeper? Oh, right, cannot be used by non-sleepers, and some units don't go to sleep. But it can be used by glamour mages, which you are, so please forge that. 15 untamed lightning. That could be a good way for me to take those watchers, but not deal with the monolith or the manticores. Alright, that will allow Shantae to at least catch up in research, because I'm struggling on research here. Nothing new there. My god can finally wear some clothes. There we go. Now he has actual protection to go with his hit points and his armor nullifying damage. But yeah, we got to get up to this. Still a lot of research to be done. 500 here, and then another, God knows, like 14,000 or so for the next level. But once we get it, we get Reascendance. Once we have Reascendance, we need Soul Vortex, which is not the Vortex of Unlife. There it is. It's Alteration 6. And that, we also want Phoenix Pyre, which is 7. If we have Phoenix Pyre and Soul Vortex, we win. But I am going to want some better constructions to thug out my units. Do we want any enchantments to go with that? Well, eventually yes, but for now we'll have to make do with what we have. Alright, Spooky, get to the researching. I once again failed to get myself a good Blood Mage, which I'm feeling very unhappy about. I want my Blood Mages out there doing more blood hunting, but we're not getting the Blood Mages. I suppose I can finally have my laboratory. No, I can't have my laboratory. Alright, you're just waiting here once again. Not researching, because I'm spending all my bleeding money. How about we spend less money? I mean, I'm serious about this. I do want to improve infrastructure. Sparsery should be able to hold with that. Arland shouldn't be a big deal. There is an idea that I split up, right? We send up somebody up north to take care of Arland. Or maybe even Lego Island. If I think that the Prophet could take this on his own. No, I shouldn't underestimate it. because the capitals always start with really good province defense. If you sunk any more money on it, it could be a problem for me. Could be. That's fine. Yeah, that is fine. Just go, you search and find nothing as usual. Please go and check Albania. Albania has something of worth, would be new to us. A lot of indie scout provinces for testing these things. I already forget what you're talking about. Oh god, Lake Helia fell to Oceania. That's a good sign, though, that there's excellent war happening between these two. I want them fighting. Fight to the death so that I can come in and take whatever I want. Sav's here, huh? Alright, time to take Falconland, of course. Unless I think... maybe let up on you. I just really want that so I can research and make more mages, but what am I willing to give up? What I really should be doing is building more temples as well, so the need for money is quite dire. A lot of things that I would want, but of course a lot of things that I could get need to come from magical research, which we're struggling to do. Alright, just believe. Once that blood magic is 7, you're going to see some serious stuff. The starvation should go away if we're able to find some food over there, but even if we get diseased, maybe recuperation will be okay. Alright, nothing found. Search and find nothing. Makeo, that was just a priest, right? Oh, I don't think he's going to do too well. Oh, he got surprised attacked as well. But Makeo got diseased. Alright, bye-bye Makeo. Yeah, bye-bye Makeo. You gouged an eye out of rocket racist, though. But yeah, these freaking assassins. I'll miss you, Makeo. There's a battle in England. We don't know much about Scythia. Scythia have their lizards riding on even bigger lizards. Do crocodiles count as lizards? Reptiles. Are reptiles not lizards? Anyway. Oh god, they're demonic reptiles. The Rhubarb Varkless of Scythia are light sacred units fighting in the enchanted cavalry with tridents and glaives. They're native to the highlands. They're found around Scythia. They have the blood of infernal spawn. They are noble, thick-skinned soldiers protected from storm surge and nauseous substances. They possess canny strategic sense. Blessed with an affinity for growing things and the strength of winter. If the rider dies, the crocodile will carry on. The crocodile is also sacred. The crocodile has immense protection and male barding. Enormous encumbrance, though. Oh my. What an impressive unit. They also have a siege defense bonus. All lizards are reptiles, but not all reptiles are lizards. Combat speed 3. But look at that. They bring a magical weapon in. Magical trident. Length 3 as well, so pretty good for repels. Bites less so. And they're not poison resistant. Wait, they are poison resistant. I was going to say I could do them in with my poisonous barbs. What else do they bring in? Just regular crocodiles, which are not sacred. They got other armored units. Still slow as sin, though, which is amusing. But they also have some fast naked units here. Yeah, these kind of chicken-looking ones that run. All in all, I don't think the AI could make this nation work very well. Too many naked units without shields. So they die to missile fire. And what do we have here? Oh, slings! Yeah, those slings are probably going to make these guys evaporate. But it will amuse me, so go for it. Yeah, this is England, by the way. These are Englishmen through and through. Wild, naked people. How thick was the thick skin on those sacreds? Not that thick. Is the cold affecting them? So they are cold-blooded. And is severely cold, which is going to hurt their encumbrance. Don't know if that affects combat speed. Doesn't seem to. Are these things magical? They're not. They're going to have a hard time with these warrior illusions then. Although those slings accidentally hitting the warrior illusions will also kill the warrior illusions. Yeah, if you've got a problem with phantasmal things, just fling loads of slings at them. Because just a single hit takes them out. How in the world did you get netted? Yeah, their cavalry is too freaking slow. Fortunately, though, they punch through the illusions, so I think the reptiles are going to eat. They also brought some weird snake thing. What are you? The Thornbound Stone Fang, also sacred. Ooh, magic weapons. That's pretty good. Twist Fate, yeah, not something I usually go for. Venomous Fangs with strong poison. Although, strangely enough, not death poison. Alright, the English are going to die then. In their desperation, they're trying to raise some undead. Really big allegory for clinging on to the greatness of Great Britain. Not so Great Britain. Clearly north is tops off weather. Northumbria will rise again. Of course, it's quite interesting to see that lizards are fatiguing out really badly. But come on, they're taking on crappy Indies. They can't lose, right? Alright, the Indies are running away. Might get something off the commander? No, sadly commanders don't drop gems. Be nice if you could, right? Take someone out and get all those gems. Alright, how did the lizards overall do there? That's a lot of losses to take. Wait a second, wasn't England a throne? England was a throne. And Grace Nakamura is going to die if they hang around there. Although I don't know what else they could reasonably do. Yeah, it's funny. I mean, we've got all this going on our island, but there is a whole other island with other nations fighting for supremacy. Curiously, which of them are doing the best? Taking land off of Amerian makes us look better. What about army size? Scythia's right there at the top. On marks all the way up there, but oh, look at the damage we've done to them. That's Falconland. And this is their relentless assault on Lilac Wars. And then this is my attack into them. So this is what they got left in their remaining units. Or remaining provinces, rather. Atlantis with a tiny army, though. I suppose they've had failed attacks on their enemies trying to raid. So who are the real up-and-comers? I'm worried about the guys that are upward trending here. Ondmark are taking off. Not only that, but Milane's doing pretty good as well. Yeah, so this is me crushing Milane and contemplating going on a counterattack. Rather than doing that, I decided to take it out on Falconland. Still maintain that was a good idea. They'll climb back up, though. And for reference, we are here. A lot of this is the bulk of the archers that we put together, but they're still going to be useful for tearing down walls and aiding in fights overall. Anyway, Grace Nakamura is just going to stay there until she dies. No big deal. Poor Atlantis this game. Yeah, it's weird, because Atlantis is a very, very strong nation. They just haven't... Where even is Atlantis? Did they get gobbled up by Oceania? Oh, gosh. Atlantis' cap circle has been taken, and their capital is under siege from Oceania. So Oceania will rule the waves. They're even taking over the lake here. I don't appreciate that, and I will be taking this lake off of them in due time, but not just yet. Shantae, please equip your Dream Spool, which I made for you. And that boosts your research something rotten, and then get researching for me. Blood Magic 6 into 7 will happen, and then 5 into 6 rather. When we get to 7, life is good. And then I don't mind Olopi going on. What should Olopi do? I'm tempted to site search, but I'm more tempted just to do astral site searching. We've got loads of astral pearls after all. I think it's better that you just do summons. Summons and creating things for us. Speaking of creating things, I will want those dwarven hammers. Oh, but I have no earth gems. Ah, okay, well, too bad. Ratty doesn't win again, but they do bring us are blood slaves. They got the troll blood going for them. Go and pick up more from Spy Fox, please. There were other battles, though. Arborang for one. Blep. Sparse Reef. So I provincially defended Sparse Reef, anticipating this counterattack. Well, more of a skirmish. Down it goes. Asmegs are good, but you can't just send 5 of them and expect them to win. And Falconland. So this is us going for their capital. No AI units have died yet, or AI nations, but what do they have here? What the hell are those? Yetis? The Yeti is a huge ape-like monster. It sometimes attacks unwary travelers. It has a chill aura around it. It resists cold. We don't do cold. We can kill it because it's not particularly skilled and it uses short... Wait, it just hits you with a rock. Although it uses sticks and stones, which is a powerful weapon, actually. Sticks and stones get your strength as their range and their damage. In fact, they get negative damage, but don't worry about that. The strength of sticks and stones is that it throws twice with enormous ammunition. So for 15 rounds, you get pelted with those. If you further imbue them with something like flaming weapons, people throwing sticks and stones become a huge problem. That's not going to be a problem for these Yetis, although 19 blunt damage being thrown at you twice a turn is really something to consider. Don't worry about the lack of precision, because if you've got a big block of units, it's going to hit something. Will sticks and stones break our bones? Well, we're hoping not. It just amuses me that he just picks up a rock and clubs you in the head with it. This confuses me, though. Why is it length 1? You get a +1 to the length of a weapon if you are size 6 or more, which he is, but that's only meant to apply to weapons that already have length of at least 1. It even says here, units with size 6+ will receive a 1-point length bonus to any weapon that has length 1 or more. So, and the Yeti is a vanilla unit, so I think something's broken there in Dom 6. Developers, please fix. Because it doesn't make fists length 1, does it? Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I see that they have access to Bart Simpson, the Arc Prior, so they get access to Priest level 3. The big relief for me is that I managed to kill almost all of their Sacreds. So the Divine Veilborns are no longer in enough number for me to be concerned about. They have fairly decent national units here. Elite Spearmasters. Spear 3 can repel us, but with those skills, I don't think so. Good morale on them. Jewel wielders as well. And some more Manti. Alright, this is the battle for the capital. And I'm feeling a bit clever bringing at least a little bit of archery. But you do need to mass that stuff. It's not doing too much on its own. So in come their Sacred Cavalry. Hopefully they just get clobbered. Clobbered. Pretty impressed that I hit them at all, given how poor my my stats are against theirs. 20 defense skill is obnoxiously high. But we're hitting them. Since it's so cold, the chill aura of these Yetis is a bit of a liability. It could freeze my my dudes in place, which is why I just need to have more dudes. They got nothing to fly at me, that's fine. If the Yeti throws stones, we should throw poop like real monkeys. Sadly, I don't have little marcatas which do throw poop. They're funny units, but they die to anything. They're an interesting, amazing counter to heavy cavalry, actually. Heavy cavalry comes storming in. They lance one tiny marcata to death, and the rest of them just dance around and bonk them. That's not the line I was looking for. We kind of converged into a block, whereas what we need to do is spread out and encircle them. At least it means if anybody becomes a werebear on the front, then it frees up space for another monkey to come in and aid. But the idea is we don't lose monkeys to begin with. Yeah, they're just getting chomped. They're little dudes. Oh, we did have somebody become a werebear. Maybe because they're starving. Don't worry, there'll be food for you to eat here. Yeah, but that werebear will most certainly come back as a real unit. Ooh. Actually lost half of my archers and one of them did die. Does it not come back, though? Who's to say, but the point is we crushed their province defense. Albania, another false prophet is in Albania. Sparfree Scott Misfortune and Falkenlad is being torn down. We will continue to tear it down. We have plenty of supplies. Even so, I'm going to move in Urangu McBain. He will give the prophet the supplies. Still tempted to spread out and take more of the lands. Like I could take Lego Island and Vardenfall. But I should probably focus on taking down the fort. Because again, my province attack or my siege strength isn't quite strong enough. Alright, Savs, maybe you can finally build that laboratory. We search and find nothing in Albania, nothing new. Sherwood still has that assassin. Well, the assassins are really stealthy. It's hard to patrol them out. I just have to accept that there are losses here. Deep Mount. Finally going for Deep Mount. And TBW, maybe you should join? Maybe lag a little bit on the join. The problem with Deep Mount is I can't claim it easily. I could send my god down to claim it. The god actually has feat slots, amusingly. Could I perhaps make myself some boots of the messenger with that in mind? Yes, and in fact that can be made by fairly useless people like you. So please just monthly forge me boots of the messenger. They will be handy down the line, I assure you. And TB Dubs, I do want you to join though. Yeah, go and join there. And TBW, you'll be casting spells and hopefully not dying. Hopefully not dying. Hello DRR Jake, says Prince. Who's responsible for these provinces' names? And have they been renamed? Yes, of course they've been renamed. Constantinople, the Slough of Despair, Ridley Bank, the Netherlands in 10 years, Shikoku, Balaton. These have all been taken from the chat name list thing, which I think I will link in chat for you because some people forget this thing exists. You know, my Google Drive is there for all to see, but you know that requires effort to go and click on the link, doesn't it? So here you go. You can see the many, many sources that we have for the names that we use in this. Anyway, much as I would like to tear down Falcon Land right now and start getting my angels going, that's going to be a job for next time, because I don't know if you can hear it, but my throat is kind of going here. Maybe I caught something off of Baron when he joined in our peak stream, but I better get myself a hot drink and a lie down because I'm going ugh here. But yes, I'm feeling really rather confident about this. We tear down Falcon Land, we get our angels going, we thug our angels, and then I have a wonderful time because I absolutely love the angel units. We're close to them. Blood Magic 7 is right around the corner. We start doing Reascendants. Now we start killing them. Oh dang, I just woke up, says Andy. Clearly a good time for peaking then, but for me, I'm going to hang up my boots today. I'll be back tomorrow, probably with more of this, as in to say Slay the Spire and then Dominions. So until I'm back with that, so cheers and cheerio.